We are live. How about you, everybody? Welcome into the Auburn Live call-in show. I'm your host, Jeffrey Lee, Senior Recruiting Editor for Auburn Live on 3. Today is Sunday, July the 21st, 2024. We are within 1 week of the second annual Big Cat Weekend under Hugh Freeze. And it will happen next Saturday. We're going to get to all the information we can. We're going to get to the call lines. Y'all go ahead and get on 701-779-9585. Mr. Allen Head is on assignment tonight. He will not be joining us. We do wish him well, but no problem. No fear. No worries. Mr. Cole Pinkston is here. How about you, Mr. Cole Pinkston?
How about you? Yeah.
How about you, man?
Got a little weather going on, so if I disappear.
I hear you.
If I disappear, I hope to be back.
Got called out in the middle of the river Saturday during a downpour, torrential downpour.
That's tough.
Trying to set some noodles out. You ever done a little noodle fishing?
I have.
Not
guy,
noodling.
No. I'm not that guy.
No, but definitely not that guy.
Putting out noodles, yeah, for sure.
We caught some, man. We had all the kids, all the boys with us. Took them down to the river. Right when we put in, of course, the bottom fell out. We scurried over underneath the bridge and waited it out. And then for about an hour and a half, man, we were just up and down the bank pulling in some nice channel cats.
There you go.
Some nice channel cats. It was a great day.
Yeah.
It was fun. I liked it. All right. So as we said, Allen Head will not be joining us, but we will do our best to make up for his absence. And we want to get to the phone lines as soon as possible. Don't forget, Big Cat is next Saturday. If you haven't already, get signed up to Auburn Live on 3. Use the promo code AU1. That's capital A, capital U1. You get 2 months for $1. $1. It'll get you through. Hell, I think that'll get you into the season. Also, before we get pretty damn close, it'll get you enough to where you go, you know what? Take my money.
There you go.
Take my money. Also, in or around Auburn, Opelika, Lee County, looking for a home, looking to sell your home, looking to buy an investment property. Look no further for the help you need. Miss Jessica Andrews with the Talents Group. Give her a call, 334-704-4442. A lot of fours in that number is Cole Pinkston, but she is a 5-star realtor. If you don't believe me, just ask Cole Pinkston. Ask him. He'll tell you.
And Allen Head.
Allen Head will. He's probably texting me right now going 5-star realtor.
He's doing it. He's doing it. He felt like
she is fantastic, folks. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. And if you are, you will be the first. Give her a call, Jessica Andrews with the Talents Group, 334-704-4442. As always, tell her we sent you. Okay, I don't have my my light on me tonight, Cole, and I'm hot as heck. So I don't have a glare off my head. Dude,
nope, all good.
I'm going hatless. It's my Canada hat. It's hot as heck, man. They don't make the trucker hats in Canada. It's all material.
Oh yeah, right.
And dude, that's just not conducive to the Alabama humidity.
I got to do the trucker hat
for sure. Absolutely. Now I do risk the threat of having a screened-in sunburn on the back half of my head,
yeah, right.
But it is worth it. I promise. I promise you. All right, Cole. A couple of things before we get to the phones. Nothing new to you, but Steve Wiltfong, Auburn on 3's national recruiting director, put in a RPM prediction for Hezekiah Harris earlier on Sunday. I'm soon to follow him. I've been meaning to do it for weeks. I think there's another one. Jared Smith is also in. Equan Fagans is in. All of these guys are expected to commit in the next 8 to 10 days. Hezekiah Harris, feeling good about him still. I think you've had a prediction in him for quite a while.
Yeah, I feel very good about that one. That's probably the one I feel the best about. Well, him and Fagans, I feel pretty good about those two. Yeah, Hezekiah Harris, seems like maybe Big Cat could be when something happens with him. We'll see. I thought it would be earlier, honestly. I thought around A-Day. I was thinking, and better watch him, be on alert with him.
Right.
He hasn't yet, so he'll be at Big Cat, and he's obviously pretty excited. He put something up on Twitter about it. And, he's just like Jordan Crawford to me, where you look back a year ago, you don't even realize it. Jordan Crawford's on every visitor list. He's been to every junior day. He's been to all the A-Day, all the games, Big Cat. He's been to all that stuff. And then he was an early commit for Auburn, still pretty strong with Auburn. So I think Hezekiah Harris is the next guy like that.
Hezekiah Harris, some other 2026 guys to keep an eye on: Jamichael Garrett, Anthony Tank Jones. Although I think he's going to wait. Shadarius Tootle, if things work out for him in Auburn, another guy to keep an eye on. Who's the kid from Gadsden? Zion Gibson.
Zion Gibson, yeah, he'll be there.
Good.
Sadarian Morgan is another guy.
There you go.
Recently, big time receiver, tight end hybrid guy from Benjamin Russell, where Malcolm Simmons is from.
He's a good-looking cat.
Yes, he is. Yes, he can play.
Good-looking cat. Some 2025 guys. Sam Turner coming in, Georgia Tech commitment, wide receiver. Derek Smith will be there at wide receiver. He is committed to Alabama. Still looking for some confirmations on a quarterback. We all expect a quarterback to be there. Just not sure, at least confirmed who it will be. Although I think we've got an idea of, or at least we're leaning one way, but we'll see how that shakes out at the end of the week. We're going to do our recruiting show while I'm thinking about it. If you're a fan of our recruiting show, we usually release it Wednesday morning. This week we're going to wait until Friday morning, so we'll have a lot better grasp on the visitor list for Big Cat on Saturday. We will have a very in-depth Big preview coming out Friday morning on our YouTube channel. If you haven't already, get subscribed. Oh, my internet's a little spotty.
Yeah, a little bit.
Damn it. Am I really?
Yeah. I mean, it's
like the
not
burger?
Terrible. It's not terrible. It's not terrible.
Am I glitching?
A little bad.
Oh, thanks, Zach. You know it's bad when Zach jumps in and says, yeah, it sucks.
Now it's
Woodland.
now.
That's Woodland internet.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Woodland internet. All right, well, I won't talk as much. How about that? Zach, do you have us some phone lines?
Lots of them.
Let's do it.
All right.
You guys already know who we're starting off with. Kevin, you're live.
Kevin. Where are you at, Kevin?
Kevin.
Hey, Jeffrey Lee.
Kevin.
I think his service is going in and out too.
Hey,
You know, Wilmer ain't much better than
let's
Woodland.
talk about Peyton Thorne for a few minutes.
Okay.
All right.
He will have over 300 passing yards this coming season.
Per game.
Per game. Yeah. It's possible.
Yeah, per game.
Possible. Can't. I mean,
You've got some confidence in Peyton Thorne, Kevin?
Yeah.
What do you like about old Peyton?
His jersey.
Do you have a number? Is he number 10?
Number 1.
Number 1.
Number 1.
Kevin, Kevin got a number 1 jersey.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I like number 27 too.
He's
I'll tell you what, people at SEC Media Days sure did like Jarquez Hunter and said he was
first
one of the
team all season.
Did he make first team?
Jacquez
second.
Hunter will
think so.
have
First?
27 touchdowns.
It's not out of the realm of possibility. I think Cole Kubelik said he was the least talked about star in the SEC, or I don't remember how he worded it, but he's the guy that's not getting talked about enough. The number 1 guy.
And I think our quarterback 2025 class is KJ Lacey.
All right. Calling a shot on it. I like it. Maybe he's the guy that shows up at Big Cat Weekend. We will see.
Maybe so, Kevin.
Is Derek Smith
Maybe.
coming?
Is who?
Derek Smith.
Derek Smith. He is already set on record. He plans to visit Auburn on Saturday. As is Caleb Cunningham.
Antonio Coleman.
Haven't heard much about Antonio Coleman.
Don't know about him.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either way if he shows up, but I think Auburn's interest in him has somewhat fallen over the last few weeks. So I don't know. I don't know what to really think about
How
him.
about Fagan?
Who was that?
Fagans is going to LSU on
Fagans.
Friday and then Auburn on Saturday.
Yep.
Oh, there. I still think M. Coleman will have 40 touchdowns.
40.
That's
Kevin's
3.5 per game.
I think Kevin's been playing some EA college football, huh?
Yeah.
Mine's coming in Monday, dude.
There you go. I've been playing it.
Yes, he said, yeah.
I've put
Yeah.
an ungodly amount of hours on that game since last Monday.
It's a good one. It's tough,
How
by the way.
was your vacation, Jeffrey, please?
It was fantastic, Kevin from Wilmer. It was more of an adventure than it was a vacation, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I tell you what, if you've never fished the Bow River in Calgary, give it a try.
Caleb Burton will have 21 touchdowns.
Caleb Burton? So Cam's averaging over 3. Caleb Burton's got 2. So Auburn's scoring at least 5 a game.
Who's number 3?
Robert Dunn. Dunn City.
Robert Dunn.
Y'all don't remember that?
Yeah.
I don't remember Dunn City.
Lambert.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Keandre Lambert Smith.
Yeah, he's number 5.
Yeah.
Number 5.
And Perry Thompson's number 3.
And I played the football game last night. I won.
Who'd you beat?
There you go.
Suspense is killing me. Who did you beat, Kevin?
Arkansas, California, and somebody else.
Nice.
Do
Going
they have
through
the real schedule on there?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
They have
Interesting.
all the games.
If you do a dynasty, yeah.
Yeah, like now till like 2030, they can have the schedules planned out for all those real games, and you can change it if you want, but they have
Yeah,
everything scheduled out.
You can change it.
And our defense will be real good this year.
I hear you. I don't disagree.
I like your optimism, Kevin, as does everyone else.
Yeah.
Kevin, we
See.
appreciate your call, big dog.
4003. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from?
Gentlemen, this is Carter Malden. How the hell are you?
What's up, Carter?
We don't use that language on this show, Carter.
I got a few questions for y'all. So I wanted to first
Pick out your best 2.
Yeah, no, that's it. I got 2 on deck. So I wanted to know if y'all could pick 2 names coming out of Big Cat that either Auburn will lead for or will commit to Auburn that will be a surprise. Doesn't matter the year.
Ooh.
And my second one is if you could name a top 2 or 2 predictions for guys that are not currently on the list that will show up and be surprises, who would you guess?
Well, as Keith always said, it's the reason it's called surprise is because you don't know it's coming, right?
Oh yeah.
Man, it's tough because we pretty much have an idea. I mean, there's always a surprise or 2. Tell you what, there's a guy I've been tracking pretty good. He's a corner. He's committed to Georgia Tech. Rayshawn, what's his last name?
Dinkins.
Yep,
Dinkins.
Dinkins. I'm keeping an eye on that guy. I think Charles Kelly loves that guy. I think Coach Wesley McGriff, Crime Dog, likes that guy. I think he's somebody that could pop up when we don't see it coming. He's committed to Georgia Tech, I think. And I don't know. I'm just keeping an eye on him. Obviously, Blake Woodby will be there. I think Auburn probably leads for him. I think Auburn comes out. If they don't have a commitment at Big Cat, they have one pretty soon from Blake Woodby, I would think.
Oh yeah, I think that we need to open up Saturday morning with a nice little Hayes Fawcett commitment post for Mr. Blake Woodby. I think that would jumpstart the whole weekend.
I do think there will be some news. Obviously, you can't really. It's almost impossible to have Big Cat without some kind of news like that. So I don't know. We'll see. I think the thing is, it's going to be hard to top last year. It's going to be so hard to top that. Perry Thompson flipping from Alabama. You get Malcolm Simmons. How do you top it? It's been pretty quiet. I'll be honest. I think they're trying to figure out a way to create some buzz that day, and I think they will.
Surprise! Auburn leads.
No, he's just saying surprise people that might show up.
Oh.
Well, and my first one was, who do y'all think, if you had to pick two guys to commit or for us to lead for after the weekend, maybe no one is looking at right now or no one is talking about, no buzz on, who do you think that could be?
Is it? And you said both classes. I'm thinking Tank Jones, but there is a little bit of buzz around him in Auburn right now. That's the 2026 edge D lineman from St. Paul's in Mobile. Maybe he's a guy that you see start favoring Auburn after this. He's going to visit Alabama too, I believe. So it'll be hard for them to seize that one. But I mean, the way that Auburn's recruiting in state right now, and you're looking at the next class, it looks pretty good. It looks like they're going to probably get the majority of the in-state guys in the next class right now as it sits.
I'll tell you what.
Think Tank Jones is a guy, probably.
Here's somebody that I would be surprised show up, and I could see him leaving saying Auburn's my leader because he's so unpredictable. Jaden Perlotti.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
That's a good one. And I'll throw one more in there. I'll throw Zion Grady in there, even though he's committed to Ohio State.
He was next on my list. Sure was. Zion Grady, Jaden Perlotti.
Jaden Perlotti's a good one. What about Elijah Melendez? I mean, should we count him out completely? Yeah. I don't know yet.
If he doesn't show up, I'm losing a lot of hope.
Definitely.
But I have not been able to confirm one way or the other if he's still coming. The last time I talked to him, he was coming, but that was before he committed to Miami. So that would be a nice surprise if he shows up.
Yeah.
I think we got a good shot with Melendez from bits and pieces that I've heard. I think it's going to take a good push, but man, if we could get him to flip, I think that'd be huge. His highlight tape is ridiculous.
It's linebackers been up and down. You know, you had Lockhart in the class. Everything was looking pretty good there. Now you're left with just Falk, and you got other linebackers that are flip targets like Elijah Melendez, Duke Johnson, that's committed to Alabama. I could easily see that guy being there at Big Cat.
Yeah.
And they seem like tough flips, but it's interesting. I want to see what happens with that position because I think there's going to be a few guys that are flip candidates at Big Cat.
I'll tell you what, another guy would be Tyler Lockhart. You mentioned him, Cole.
Yeah, Tyler Lockhart. I thought about him.
All right, Carter, good stuff, big dog. We appreciate you, man.
2246. You're live. Who we talking to? Where you calling from?
What's going on, fellas?
What's up, Edward?
Nothing much, man. Nothing much.
Get us talking there, Edward. Get us talking.
Oh, Jeffrey Lee, I heard you talk about them catfish, man. I've been tearing them up for the last 2 months, man. I've been
Really?
Oh yeah, shit, I caught a 17-pounder Wednesday evening. Shit, I caught a 54-pounder about a month and a half ago. I've been killing
Do you ever fillet your cats?
it. That's the only way I'm gonna do it. And I
Okay,
fillet-
talk to me real quick,
fillet
man.
that when I caught Wednesday and shit cooked them Wednesday night. I fillet them.
Do you skin them before you fillet
I
them?
can get some of those 1 or 2 pound channels. I like to fry those whole. But
Man, that's the best kind,
this
dude.
thing over 3-4 pounds. I fillet.
Do you skin them?
Yeah, old school, man. Bring them home and get my skinner. And shit, I sit out here in my backyard and I skin him, and I got me a table. I fillet them and wash them in the backyard. Come on in here and drop them in some of that Louisiana Cajun, New Orleans style. Fish
Yeah.
batter. Oh man,
Yeah.
Frank a little Tony Saccheries on them.
Yes.
Slap your mama.
Man, I'm
Talk
starving
to
right
me.
now.
Oh man.
Good gracious. I seen your pictures, Edward. I seen the pictures of all them big catfish you got.
Oh, you see them, nigga?
I have.
Yeah, that cut shad. They killing that cut shad right now. Differently. That's
Mhm.
mostly what I fish with. But hey, man, media days over with. I can smell. It's the smell in the air now, man. And boy, it's just so many storylines, man. So many storylines. What Texas gonna do coming in? Is Napier gonna survive Florida? Is Georgia still the top dog? Can DeBoer take the reins at Alabama? How Free gonna do year 2? Ain't nobody talking about LSU. Will Napier survive? Man, it's just so much to talk about college football. And I feel sorry for some of these coaches because with this new college football game coming out, boy, there's gonna be some coaches gonna get fired because boy, every fan in the world know what play every team should be running right now, boy.
It's pretty
They know
in
what
depth.
to do in every situation, no? Yeah. But I hear some guys I've been talking about my boy Mr. Smith all week on the corner. Somebody was asking, was he a polished receiver? And I have to say, no. But that's simply because he's a kid that had to do so much for a team. There's a guy that don't come off the field.
Yeah.
He don't come off the field. He plays defense every snap, special teams, shit, offense every snap. So he's kind of raw, but there's a lot of ability there. If you had to ask me who I compare him to, yeah, I can make a comparison with him in peers. Different body build, but similar playing style as far as receivers. Kind of in the same mold as far as guys, you can just get the ball in the hand on screen pass or 50-50 ball. You can do a lot with it. Get the ball in the hand and good thing happen. I told you the first time I talked about it, when the ball in the hand, you chance to bang on play. And that remains true to this day.
Yep. Edward, do you still like him? What position do you think he projects best at on the next level? Is it nickel, corner, safety, or is it receiver, like slot receiver? Or, obviously he's probably going to be a return specialist somewhere, wherever he decides to go. Alabama, Auburn, Florida State, those are some schools that love him. What do you think?
Oh, boy. It ain't no hard answer for me because I know. Now, if it was from what I done saw, and I just saw him on offense and I just saw him on defense, I've been watching him about 4 years now. I like him on defense, man. I like him as the nickelback or either that safety, middle of the field. I like him. I love him now. And I can see why a lot of teams were recruiting them. Because I still say, he's the kind of defensive back that was built from when Nick was coaching Alabama, the ball skill part.
Yeah.
Any ball thrown in the secondary in his vicinity, and he got just as good a chance to catch it and take it back to the house as the offensive player got to catch it. I mean, his hands, if the ball touches his hands, he don't drop balls. Man. He just don't drop balls. Whether that's catching them as a receiver or defending them as a defensive back. If the ball anywhere in his vicinity, he gonna go get the ball. And so that's just something you can't teach as a defensive back. And then the way that he can come down and tackle. I mean, you saw it, Cole. The way he can come down and tackle, you can do a lot with that kid on the defensive side of the ball. Like, you really could. And when you see him on offense, you know, you can see why a lot of teams want him now. But if I'm recruiting, I'm probably recruiting him as a nickelback, a safety. Maybe could put 5-10 more pounds on a money linebacker. It's sky's the limit for him on that defensive side. And I think even though they recruited him as a receiver at Auburn, man, Charles Kelly loved him in that secondary as well. So he's a kid you can get. And just to say, I don't like to say this about people, but he can kind of be, I won't say to the same level, but you got a little Travis Hunter in him. You can play him a few snaps on defense. You can play him on offense. Main thing is just get him on campus, and we'll figure out what he is on down the road. But one thing I do know, he's a damn football player. So
I agree.
That's my thoughts on him. Just get him on campus and see where he fit in at, and see where he can carve a role. I think he's one of those guys, depending on how fast he can pick up the defense, I mean, he can find a role. What do you think, Cole?
I got enough video of him that night, just from that one game, where I could sell him. I mean, just from using the video I got from that game, I could see him being different positions on the college level. I'm curious to what his fit would be in a Hugh Freeze offense as a receiver. I think he's a slot guy, obviously, but I haven't really seen how Freeze, and he's a pretty, I actually thought he was smaller before I went and saw Derek Smith. He's a bigger kid than I realized. So he's not just your small, quick slot receiver, although that's the way, he plays. He can make you miss. He can beat you off the ball, all that good stuff. But you can put him anywhere at receiver. You can put him in running back. I mean, there's just the sky's the limit with that guy. He's like, if y'all, since everybody's playing the video game, everybody's playing the video game right now. He's that guy that's got ratings and everything, 80s and everything, and then speeds over 90. He can do it all.
And see, the thing about him on the outside, where he may not be as tall as Cam Coleman or some of those guys, he's not a 6'3" guy. He's maybe 6'1".
Yeah.
I give him 6'1", maybe 6'1.5". But if you ever see him, and when you see him at Big Cat, I want you to pay attention to one thing. Look at where his arm at on his body. His arm down there touching his knee. He got long arm, man. He can jump out the gym. You can play him outside and throw the ball up the same way you could those 6'3" guys, and he gonna go get the dang ball. I've seen him do it time and time again. He'll go get it. I don't give a damn how high it is. You got to throw it got to be a really, really high pass for him not to have a chance to go catch it. I'll tell you that. He go get it. One-handed, I didn't call to see him catch it on the tip of 3 fingers and reel it in. He can do it. But I didn't talk long enough, man. I just wanted to call and talk with y'all guys tonight.
Yes, sir. Always.
Appreciate you, big dog.
All right, Jay Lee.
It's a good breakdown because if Derek Smith shows up to Big Cat Weekend like we expect, he's going to be one of the headliners. There's no doubt.
Zach, what you got, big dog?
0978. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from?
How about you, fellas? This is Tim Barstead calling from El Dorado Hills, California.
Oh, yeah. Tim.
Oh, Tim, the son of Caleb Edwards' buddy.
the dad.
That's right. My son plays with him on
There you
team
go.
currently, yeah. Yeah, I thought we had him. I thought we had him all the way up till they had their football camp in Lake Tahoe a couple weeks ago, and then we found out from his dad that they chose Alabama.
Yeah. Yeah, he's going to Alabama. That's the guy that Auburn, I mean, like we talked about, Auburn valued him pretty high, so he's a good player. You've talked about him. Yeah, that's a tough one for sure.
Yeah, he even showed up to practice with an Auburn football, so we thought we were locked in, but we come to find out that the relationship he had with the Washington coach was just too good.
Sure.
But looking forward to this upcoming week. This is recruiting season's out, officially starting. Been hearing a lot of buzz around Zion Grady and Naheem Offord, so I'm hoping to hear about that over the next week or two. I don't think anything's going to happen at Big Cat, of course, but a lot of smoke around them. But I actually wanted to call y'all tonight to talk about another local boy that I know is going to be up there around Big Cat. I don't know if he's actually going to be at Big Cat, but he's officially visiting on, well, not official, but he's visiting on the Monday after. It's a kid named Ryder Lyons.
Yes. Quarterback.
Y'all hear much about him, but that boy's a player.
Yeah, Ryder, he's going to be really, really popular. He's going to be really, really popular. He's going to be one of the top quarterbacks for sure.
I think he's coming in either Sunday or Monday.
Folsom. I don't know if you're familiar with Folsom at all, but they're a good program. They produce Jake Browning, produce Austin Mack, who's on the Alabama's roster right now.
Okay.
The thing I like about it is his family is deep in their faith, and I know that's going to speak a lot to him when he comes out. What'll be interesting to follow is they're of the Mormon faith, and his older brother is a tight end commit at USC. Had to go on a 2-year mission trip as part of what they do. I don't know if Ryder's going to do that or not. I don't know how that worked for a quarterback, to be honest with you, but I think that he's really, really going to like Auburn. He's going to be visiting 4 different SEC schools on this swing, but it's a name to watch out for. I think that we've got a good chance to start getting in early with him.
Good deal. Yeah, I don't know much about Ryder yet because he's one of those big names out in California, and it's hard to gauge where Auburn might be with a guy like that. But that's a good little insight on him because, whatever you think about Hugh Freeze is irrelevant. The guys who seem to be big in their faith walk away from Hugh Freeze and Auburn going, I like that. I like that a lot. It happens a lot, so that's a good point.
So
that's all I have, fellas. I really appreciate all you guys do as always, and look forward to hearing the coverage over the next week and seeing what happens out of Big Cat.
Appreciate you, Tim.
Good call.
The dead period is in effect July and August, except for it ends on Thursday for 1 week. So you've got 7 days. You got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then you've got up next week up until Wednesday. Last I checked with Ryder, he was planning on coming the 29th, which is Monday. I think he was going to Alabama, maybe Auburn. There were, as Tim said, there was some other SEC schools, but we will do our damnedest to follow up on Ryder and see exactly when he is coming in. But 29th on Monday is the day I have circled in pencil. Let's put it that way. Good stuff, Tim. Appreciate you, big dog. Keep us going there, Zach.
8869. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, my name's Nathan Frame from Fleming Island, Florida.
Did you say Nate?
And wanted to ask, Cole said something a while back ago about the lack of talent that Auburn had. And I think we were playing Vanderbilt or something like that, and it was almost like our team, Auburn, wasn't that much different than Vanderbilt's skill level, or it was closer, than it should be. So if you were to say 1 through 10, what would be the 1 being Vanderbilt, 10 being Georgia? What would you rank Auburn's talent level last year? And then what would you rank it this this upcoming year. So from last year, 2023 to 2024, where's it gone up from? Vanderbilt's 1, Georgia's 10.
Yeah.
Where would you rank
like it.
Auburn's talent level last year?
Yeah.
Where would you rank it this upcoming year? And then I'll add another piece. What would you rank it next year in 2025?
No,
That's a great question, Nate.
it is a good question.
I'm curious to hear your answer, Cole.
Last year I would have had it at a 5,
Okay.
which is unacceptable in
Okay.
my opinion for who Auburn has to compete with. This year I've got it 6.5 to 7. I'll go 7. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt at 7. Here's the thing, Nate. This is why I said that about Vanderbilt. I was doing some research on a guy that Auburn had offered from the portal who was from Vanderbilt, and I think his name was Nate, defensive lineman. And watching some game film of Vanderbilt, I noticed, well, they got a deep defensive line rotation. Now, none of those guys were necessarily superstars, but I go back and I look at Auburn, I go, oh my gosh, they're rotating 5 guys. That's a problem. When Vanderbilt's got 8 deep on their D-line rotation and Auburn's got 5, and they had 5 guys they trusted, and that's it. That's how you know that Auburn was teetering on the brink of becoming a Vanderbilt-type roster. Now, they didn't get there. Auburn's more talented than that. It has been, even in the lowest part when Freeze took over. Now, but it was close. And I think that was something that stood out to me as a reason why it was close. I think you have really gone away from it now. I think you've taken some big steps forward and moved away from that line. I think you're above several teams now. Middle of the pack, though, I think is fair, because when you look at from 1 to 10 roster talent in the SEC, there's probably 8 to 10 teams 7 and above on your scale. So I think middle of the pack.
I'll go 3 and 6. I thought last year they were terrible, talent wise. I think they weren't much better than Vandy, talent wise. I'd say the defensive line was thin. Wide receiver was thin. I would say 3. Which what do you say? 4 or 5? I'll say a 3, and I think I'll give them 5.5 to 6. But I just thought last year was
the reason I say 5 for last year is because the young group you had, Kayan Lee, Keldrick Falk, Connor Liu, that brought you up a little bit.
Sure.
You brought in Waldo Fairweather. You brought in Jalen McLeod, Keldrick. Yeah, I said Keldrick Falk. Those guys were pieces to build on, and I could see, you could see that at the time. Okay, they can build on that. As in before, you go, all right, where's the building blocks here? You got transfers that came in that are not very good, and they're leaving, and there's nothing to build on. So I was looking at it from a building standpoint. I think 4.5, 5 is where they were at, and now they're at 6.5, 7. That's just my opinion on it.
Me too.
How many
I like
teams
it.
in the SEC would you put the roster above last year? What, Vandy, Mississippi State, Arkansas, and then maybe South Carolina?
South Carolina, I think Spencer Rattler's pretty good, personally.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like that might be pushing it. I don't know if Kentucky is probably in that group too, where you can pick apart, what they have, but they have some NFL guys on Kentucky too.
The thing about Kentucky is that I don't think they're ever going to get above a 7 on Nate's scale there, but they're consistent with Mark Stoops. Yeah. Very consistent.
They win with less talent too. They're like 7-8 wins every year.
Yeah.
So what do you think? What do you expect Auburn to be at in 2025? Are you at a 7?
No, it's going to be better
7.5.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Assuming that, you don't know what the transfer portal is going to do. They might lose all their best players. You never know. Assuming they don't. Assuming they keep the guys they need to keep from this current roster. Those are good building blocks. You got plenty. Now, you're losing a lot, but you're going to replenish with more. I think they're going to do well in the portal again. I think they're starting to figure that part out a little bit. So add that in with some of these pieces you got. Another pretty strong class, what we think is coming in. I think you're teetering up to an 8 at that point.
Okay, I think I'm okay with that.
Once you get to an 8, you shouldn't ever be out of a game. You're in the game at that point.
How many teams in the SEC would you put above an 8, right? Going into like 2024, 2025, Cole, how many teams would you put in the 9 to 10 category?
Georgia, Alabama, Texas, LSU.
Ole Miss, maybe? In terms of pure individual talent, maybe.
Ole Miss, I don't know, because maybe they might be right there because of all the transfers, but they're going to lose that. Yeah. I mean, I know it's just for that 1 year, but I still think that development matters. A lot of people seem to have thrown that out of the window. I don't. I think it matters big time.
I like it, Nate. Good stuff, big dog. Appreciate you calling.
1899. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from? One 899. You're live.
Hey fellas, this is Floyd from Cairo, Georgia. Just got
Floyd
about recruiting and the NIL. So a lot of the big teams, the Texas, the A&Ms, the Oklahomas, and even the Bammers. What, as far as future wise, what does our NIL look like? Going forward, and then I'll follow that with, if the NIL keeps getting bigger, does our recruiting, do we start recruiting, pulling in like more 5 stars and stuff like that? And I'll hang up. I won't tie up the line for you guys, and as always, War Damn Eagle.
Appreciate you, Floyd. Good stuff, big dog.
I was going to ask him if he is a barber.
Oh, Floyd.
Floyd the barber.
NIL, man. Alan's kind of our NIL guy, but I'll swing for it. I don't think Auburn is lacking in NIL. I think it's fine. I think it's adequate. I think it's more than sufficient. I don't think kids are choosing elsewhere because of it.
Yeah.
I think Auburn and Hugh Freeze mostly is, and he's the one who's like, listen, this is what we're offering you. This is the best we're going to do. I don't think that's an issue. I don't think more NIL is going to equal more 5 stars. And I think this came out of SEC Media Days, and it might have been Kirby Smart who said this, but we're not going to pay a high school kid more than we're paying our starters. We're not going to pay them that much money just to get them, and them come in making more money than the starters. So there's got to be a cap on this. Every head coach is going to do that, and I'm sure Hugh Freeze is doing the same thing. Listen, this is what our starters making. And you're not getting any more. So take it and come on, or not.
I think I think the NIL grows with wins. I really do, and I don't think it needs to. I mean, it's not in a place where it just has to grow that much. I agree with you. I don't think Auburn's losing anybody because of NIL. I think when they really want to get in the NIL game with a player, they can make it happen. I think we've witnessed that a few times.
Joseph Phillips.
Yeah, Joseph Phillips. Cam Coleman, that one kind of fell back into your lap, but you didn't do it without a good offer or NIL, whatever. Perry Thompson is one for sure. I would say Keandre Lambert-Smith probably, which is a transfer portal addition.
Yeah.
So, which is probably more
important than the high school guys.
Yeah, but I mean, it's kind of like, we as Jeffrey, as people who run an Auburn message board, an Auburn website, we know when people are hot and cold on the Auburn Tigers. Bottom line.
Right.
We know when y'all are in, and we know when you're like, I just don't feel like it this month. And we know when you're in. Okay. It's the same. I think when that happens, I think when Auburn starts winning again is when Auburn fans really start getting excited. I think NIL will grow. I think your On to Victory subscribers will grow. All of that stuff is going to be up, trending up. So as far as what NIL looks like in the future, if Auburn starts winning with Hugh Freeze, I think NIL goes up. Winning is the cure-all. It can cure anything and everything in college football.
I think when you talk about going up, the ceiling has to go up for the current players before it's going to go up for the high school guys. I think you're going to see the starters, just like I said in that example. Well, if the starters are making more because Auburn's winning and there's more money to be had and there's more money to be paid, then you're going to see maybe a jump in that the high school offers.
Yeah. Well, also when you get your roster to a point that you feel comfortable, then you're not having to fill holes like we talked about so many times. That's
Sure.
that's not just with the transfer portal. That's with high school too. Yeah, you gotta keep building on depth. You'll have holes that naturally happen as people graduate, transfer, whatnot. But you're to a point now where you're going, all right, I don't have to I can get the guys I really want. I can hone in on them, and I don't have to worry if I miss. I'm pretty good. I'm in better shape. And Auburn's not quite to that point yet, in my opinion.
Good stuff, Floyd. Appreciate you, buddy.
1028. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from? One zero.
Yes, sir.
28.
This is Aaron from Fort Payne tonight. How's it going, guys?
Oh, Aaron.
Yes, sir. It's good to hear from y'all guys again, man. I look forward to this show every week. I love watching y'all show, man. War Eagle, by the way.
Appreciate you, big dog.
And I'm telling you what, it's going to be a good week coming up. Real good week. Yeah, I'm actually excited to see if we land Hezekiah Harris this week and if he pops this week, man. I saw that Fong bomb today for Hezekiah. That kid can play, man. He's a dog.
Yeah, he's up your way in the
Hezekiah
AA,
Harris.
Man, I tell you what, though, I've got a couple of questions for y'all guys tonight, and I won't hold y'all real long.
All right.
When it comes to Sam Turner, man, what do y'all think is the news on Sam Turner right now? Is he actually a good critical target we can watch, and do you think we can flip him from Georgia Tech? And
yes, yes.
Is Jared Smith going to be a real one that's going to commit to Auburn, you think, on August 3rd? Are we going to land him? And I think if we get Fagans, man, we got a very good shot with Smith, and I think we can get both these Thompson guys. And my last question is, especially for you, Cole, is who do you believe is our 5 most crucial targets that we either have to have or hang on to for this 2025 recruiting class? That either is like big impact players or even from the state of Alabama that just would be embarrassing if we lost.
Nice.
Okay. Good stuff. Hey, Ron, appreciate you, big dog. Let's see, Cole.
Yes,
we both agree Jared Smith.
Sir. War Eagle.
My apologies. Oh. What? I thought he had stopped. My bad, big dog.
No, you're delayed.
Yeah,
And the phone's delayed. So I think it was the two delays added up to terrible timing.
He's in Fort Payne. I'm in Woodland. We got the same amount of red lights.
Yeah.
Which is not a damn one.
Caution.
Okay. Jared Smith, Cole.
Yeah.
We both feel he's Auburn. I think we both have I put in a prediction for him yet? If I haven't, I should. I will. But the first one was Sam Turner, who is an interesting case. We've talked about him maybe moving up into that Tier 1 level, a Tier 1 group. I think you take him if you can. I think the three most likely guys in this class right now would be Derek Smith, Sam Turner, Caleb Cunningham if he shows up. I think you're gauging his level of interest Sunday or Saturday, if and when he leaves. But I would put Sam Turner on my watch list.
Yeah, for sure. I like the way things are moving with that one. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
Without knowing a whole lot about him yet, I like the way things are moving with him. If Auburn decides that he's a guy that they want to really pursue, right?
Right. Jared Smith, who was the other? Anquan Fagans. Okay, Cole. So he said your 5. How about needs? Auburn needs these guys. They don't need to lose these guys. And I think he was more specific in state, maybe.
Yeah.
And he did put in there hold on to or sign or add. So 5 in-staters that Auburn needs to hold on to or add.
I'm trying to come up with 5 total, but I have 3 that popped in my head immediately when he asked the question, and 2 of them are already committed to Auburn. One is Eric Winters, and the other one is Jordan Crawford. I think you've got to keep those guys. Massive players. I mean, they could be excellent for Auburn. They mean a lot. If you were to lose those 2, it would be killer. And I think you could throw Malik Autry in there too. I have Crawford and Winters higher on my personal list than Autry, but I still think Autry's got a chance to be a fantastic college football player with his size and his ability to move. And obviously a lot of schools want him. And if you can fend them off and show, that Auburn is not to be messed with when it comes to a guy in their backyard, a guy they want to keep, that's important for perception. And then the guy that's not committed right now, I think is most important is Anquan Fagans.
Sure.
We've said that before. I just think he is I think he's the kind of safety I haven't seen at Auburn. I don't even know if I should say in a long time. I think I haven't seen a guy like him at Auburn. I've seen a lot of him at Alabama, LSU, Florida. Hadn't seen a guy like him at Auburn at safety. That guy's a game changer, in my opinion. I think, obviously, Auburn's got momentum with Fagans right now. You need to finish strong on that one. Very important. Very important. I think that's 4. Who would be another one?
Derek Smith.
Well, I guess you would have said Caleb Cunningham at one point, and I know what he said. I know what he's come out and said.
In-state, my bad.
Oh, in-state, yeah. Derek Smith is important now. He's probably even more important because he's in-state, 1, and 2, he's a playmaker. And, I was talking to my consultant, Big Dave 55. I shout him out on the board all the time. He's a buddy of mine. We talk football all the time. He made a great point. He goes, I love Auburn's class right now. Looks good, but where are the guys that are good with the ball in their hands? This class is severely lacking that right now. Besides Alvin Henderson, there's nobody else. Nothing against Ryan G. He's a tight end. They need playmakers. They need guys that can score touchdowns. And right now, I'm not. It was a good point. I don't see those guys in this class. So that's what you need in this class. Guys that can score touchdowns. Derek Smith is that guy. Usman Kroma. These kind of guys. You have to find a way to get some of those kind of playmakers in this class because it is severely lacking those right now.
Good stuff, Ron. Appreciate you, big dog.
Go 5013. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from?
Hey guys, how about you fellas? This is Don.
Oh, Don. How you doing?
How you guys doing, fellas?
Very good, very good.
We're horsing around.
Well, Jeffrey Lee, I got you kind of cracked me up the other night when I asked my question about Peyton Thorne, but it did have something to do with recruiting because if he doesn't have a good year and doesn't get all these good receivers like Cam Coleman and Perry Thompson and prove something on the field, then that's going to kill the class, in my opinion.
Yeah, it certainly could. That's a gamble you're playing with right now.
Yeah, because, you fellas are always talking about what you do on the field to help your recruiting, fellas.
Proof of concept.
But hey, got my
POC.
question of the night tonight, and then I got to ask y'all a question about how y'all handle the game day down there, because I would like to plan something for everybody on the corner. They've been kind of kidding me about canceling that Twin Peaks party, so I got to make it up to them guys. But on the running back class, do you think we can get 3 possibly, or just 2?
I guess 3's not out of the
Two
realm
high
of
school guys,
possibility.
right?
2 high school seems like what it's going to be.
Yeah, and if you had to choose, would you take Mills Knight or would you take the Chroma kid?
Chroma.
Okay. But anyway,
I would too.
Everything about how y'all handle game day on the home games. Do you guys have to be at the facility like 3 or 4 hours earlier? Could everybody do something early that morning? Because I know that opening game's at night, and every time I go to Auburn, I go to 17-16. I was going to try to see if the corner wanted to have a pregame party there. I was wondering,
Is that place still open?
Yeah, it is.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I think I'm still kicked out. I think I'm still banned from that joint.
Right by Timber's corner. I don't know if you guys have ever been in there or not, but it's basically invented off the Bama punt game in '72, probably before you guys were born.
Oh, I did not
But
realize
it's my game day place to go, and I was going to try to get to see if anybody on the corner wanted to have a little pre-game party there, guys.
Yeah, there you
go. We'll check on that.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, fellas, as always, I enjoy the show. I know y'all got a heck of a busy week next weekend, and I'm always look forward to the coverage. Big Cat's always one of the best weekends of the year, guys, and I know y'all are going to do a hell of a job covering it, fellas. So thank y'all for what you do, guys.
Appreciate you, Don.
Appreciate it.
2620. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from?
Yes, sir. This is CJ from Vernon, Alabama. I just had one little quick statement and a question. Man, I really hope they go after Deuce Knight a little bit more than they go after KJ. And then my question was, if y'all had to pick one player to bring back and play on both sides of the ball that didn't play for a championship and before 2000, who would you pick? And I'm gonna get off.
Say that again.
Hang on, CJ. Ask that last question one more time.
Oh, so like, if you could bring back any player from like the offense or the defense that didn't play for a championship and before 2000, like who would you pick?
I see.
Well, who would you pick?
Ooh, probably Nick Marshall and Smoke Monday.
Oh, I thought you said before 2000.
Probably Nick Marshall. And it's before 2000.
Hey CJ, turn your TV.
Turn your.
I apologize. After 2000. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, I was about to say.
And I thought you also said, I thought I might have heard wrong. I thought you said that didn't play for a championship, because Nick Marshall won the SEC championship and went to the Natty.
And Nick Fairley won a national championship.
Yeah.
We have played. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's true. That's true.
Didn't play.
I was meaning like one. I was really meaning the Cam Newton year. I apologize. That's what I should have said. But yeah, they did go play for it in 13.
Hey,
I mean, we can count the 13. Who would y'all pick? So if I would say Nick Marshall, I probably would have brought back Bo.
So, Bo Nix, yeah. So CJ, let me ask you 2 questions. Number 1, Vernon, Alabama, is that Lamar County?
Yes, sir, it is.
Dude,
I'm from Saraland. I actually went to Saraland. That's where I actually went to school.
Huh.
And then I come up here for a couple of years.
You just went straight up the Alabama-Mississippi line then.
Oh, yes, sir. Right over here, like Columbus and like 45.
Yeah. Second question, CJ, is back to your first question. You like Deuce Knight better than KJ Lacey. Tell me why.
Well, mainly me. I think just the size reference. I think too many people. Nothing to knock Bryce Young, but too many people's compared him to that, and I just don't think. I don't know the scheme wise, but I just think body wise. I think having Jarquez Hunter in the backfield than having a man like Deuce Knight that can potentially get away, which I know KJ can get away. He's got feet. I know that, not taking that away. But I don't know. I reckon I feel like we've had better success at Auburn with bigger quarterbacks. I feel like when quarterbacks that take off and will run someone over, so to speak. And I just don't feel like KJ's going to run anyone over necessarily.
Gotcha. That's a good synopsis there.
And then you got the big guys they got to worry about downfield, and you're going to have your hard hitters trying to pay attention to them, your big corner. Your corner's going to do different things. But I don't know. I just like having another big guy in the backfield. I feel like that's the go-to. Having a man that's going to be able to see over our big lineman that we've brought in.
I like it.
You know what's loaded about this question of his is that you can only go back 10 years to find an Auburn player that didn't play for a championship. He says post 2000, you've got the 2004, you've got 2010, I think 2007, if I'm not mistaken. Is it 2007 that played?
Yeah.
So 2010, then you got 2013.
13.
You've got 2017. So you can only go back 6 years to find a player that didn't play for a championship.
Was Roger McCreary on the 2017 team? I don't think he was.
I don't think he was either.
That's my pick.
Ooh,
I would take old Roger back.
Roger McCreary.
How about we just do since 2018? Pick somebody from 2018 to last year's team that you would like to have back. I'll tell you one guy that doesn't get nobody talks about him. He was dang good, and he was a Harsin pickup from the portal that I thought was fantastic. Was Eku Leota. Eku was good. And that take Derek Hall. I'd take him back for sure.
Roger was a freshman in 18.
There you go. I believe, was it 18 when? No. Was he really a freshman in 18? So 19 is when he was a redshirt freshman in 19, right? Did he not play his freshman year?
You know, with the COVID, it messes up. But he graduated in 18. So he was a true freshman in 18. It says he had 2 tackles against Arkansas. I'm just
thinking about that pick he had against Joe Burrow in the LSU game. That was 2019 when Auburn just about beat him in Baton Rouge. And
career best 10 tackles at LSU.
That was like his breakout game. And I think he was considered a redshirt freshman at the time. I may be wrong.
No, you might be right. He was only at Auburn for 4 seasons, so that's probably right. Probably left after his junior season. It just doesn't give. The COVID year was like, was he super senior? Was he a senior? Was he a redshirt junior? I don't even.
We're almost to the end of that, by the way.
Thank God.
Where we don't have to consider the COVID year anymore. Good gracious. I would take Marcus Harris back. I would take Mosiah Nasili Kite back. I'd take those guys back in a second.
He did play 7 games as a true freshman in 18.
He was a sophomore in 19 when he had that game.
He did play 4 seasons. He played 4 seasons at Auburn. And he had that super senior year, but he said deuces.
Who would y'all's pick be from 2018 to last year's team to bring back on this team? Like who does Auburn need?
Bo Nix. Would
y'all count Derek Brown, even though he was a senior in 18?
He played for if we're going by CJ's
Did he
question.
play in 17?
Well, yeah, that's true. I wasn't sure if we were considering the championship.
Okay.
He would be the obvious answer.
Yeah, let's say 2018. Since he was a senior, you could take him for sure. Yeah. I'm thinking D-line. That's where I'm looking for an impact guy for Auburn's D-line right now. If I'm picking somebody from these teams. Derek
Give
Brown.
me the quarterback, Bo Nix.
Offensively is Bo Nix for me, too. I'm with you.
Give me Bo Nix under Hugh Freeze with these wide receivers.
You take Bo Nix over Jarrett Stidham for sure?
Yes.
Yeah.
No question.
I think so.
I like it. Good stuff, CJ. Appreciate you calling in, big dog.
Last caller of the night, 5202. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from?
How about you, fellas? It's Darren down in Destin.
Darren,
Nice.
I was going to say, not to be confused with Niceville.
Travel, military, so I've been around a little everywhere.
Enterprise, all that good stuff. Are you like our cleanup guy now, Darren?
You know, I guess if you gotta have a home run, you might as well call me in. I've been around a while.
I like it.
You know, I keep hearing Zion Grady, but didn't we lose 2 guys out of the state of Alabama to Ohio State? I mean, I heard Cole talking about the backyard earlier, but didn't we lose 2 people to Ohio State?
Name offered is the other.
Yes, there. Naeem offered.
Yeah, so we didn't exactly win the backyard totally. Number 1 guy got away.
You're right. Not yet, anyway.
Right.
I saw the rankings come out from SEC Media Days. I'm not as high up on LSU as Cole is. I think the offense is going to go down. I think the defense will be a little bit better, but I just don't think that they're it.
Okay.
I think Oklahoma's got too many troubles on the offensive side of the ball. And I just can't picture Peyton Thorne. Look, if Peyton is number 8 or 7, top 50% of this league, let's just say that's got to be 2,500 to 3,000 yards. Sure. Auburn is a lot different with the playmakers that are around them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Nobody in media days talked about Jarquez. Nobody's even mentioned Cobb. Now, let me tell you, I get it about Damari and everything, but nobody is talking about Cobb at all. Zero. There's no talk whatsoever.
Well, Darren, this is why I'm looking at it going, okay, I think the roster's at about a 7 now because you can go to each position and talk about the starters, but there's guys that are intriguing behind them now. And I don't know if that was the case a year ago. Not too many positions had intriguing guys behind them. And now you got them almost at every position. Like, okay, I need to see what that guy's got. I'm pretty excited about that guy. You can say that about a bunch of backups right now. And that's the difference.
Which, Lee, that's a great segue to my question that I had in mind, Cole, right. Jeffrey Lee, and Mr. Zach in the back. I know you don't put in a lot sometimes, but I know I see you nodding your head there, brother. I know, I get you. I feel you. I see you over there. But so the sky's falling. Auburn's not the number 3 or number 4, right, ranked class. Let's say we end up number 8 or number 9. Is that a depth perception at going from 4 to 8, or is that a star preference? I mean, what's the big fall off going from a 3 or 4 class to an 8 or 9 class?
You're talking about like national, not just in the SEC, right? Or are you talking about 8th in the SEC?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Because, you know, and that's all prevalent to, I mean, are you looking at rivals on 3? Everybody's got their own opinion, but I'm just a generality, right?
Well, I think it's about the margin of error. And last year, the margin of error was smaller for recruiting, and you needed a top 10 class for sure, and that's what they got. Now, if you were to hit around the 10 range, you're in a better spot now where you can do that and still build. But I don't think there's a huge difference between number 4 and number 8, like you're saying. I mean, it's not a monumental difference.
Maybe like small. One guy.
1 or 2, yeah.
That's kind of like high school ball, right? I mean, sometimes the 1 or 2 guys look at Enterprise. Made a good run, had a solid team. Nobody just wanted to run over Enterprise. I mean, you had Eric Winters and Zion, but can you name anybody else that was a star player that's coming out of Enterprise that's going to be recruited? And I feel the same way about college. Once you get to that point, that number 1 to number 10 out of 139 schools. Look, if you got top 10, top 15 firepower, you got some dudes. Not one dude, you got some dudes. right?
Yeah, for sure.
So I just feel like Auburn feels better than the 7. I'm taking the over the 7, and I'm putting my money where my mouth is. I mean, I got tickets to Cal, I got tickets to Oklahoma, and we're talking about rooms and everything, right? Because I'm down here, so I've got to do hotels, food, the whole 9 yards. It's a package. I have to do Missouri. I'm riding out there. First time I've ever been, trying to visit a lot of different places. A&M twice. So A&M's still my favorite that I've been to. Fans, the stadium, the food, everything in A&M's been freaking awesome. I've got Texas A&M tickets. So, I'm living it. I'm drinking Kool-Aid a little bit this year, but I think next year, year 3, I got to see it with a quarterback. And that leads to my next segue. Why are we so caught up with the quarterback, guys? Is Walker White's not playing this year? Is he redshirting, and then we got a year or 2 with Walker White? Why such a big emphasis that we live or die by not getting a quarterback this year? And I'll leave it at that. I know that's 3, and that's usually 1 more than we're supposed to get, but just wanted to do that and say thank y'all. I appreciate the show, and War Damn Eagle. And by the way, one question that y'all may want to use: what's your go-to snack? I mean, if I get on the golf course, I'm in my golf cart, man, give me some Lance peanut butter crackers in the damn cart. I can go on that protein. You hear me? Lance peanut butter crackers. But just curious. Y'all have a great week, man. Thank y'all again. War Eagle.
Appreciate you, Darren. I wonder if it's the orange crackers. Is that the Lance, the orange, or are those the?
I think so.
Nicot or Lance, something like that. Yeah. I give me
Can't go wrong with some peanut butter crackers now.
Give me some Vienna sausage all day.
Really?
Or peanut M&Ms. That's
okay. We'll split it. Yeah, I got you, dog.
He said, "Are you sure that's your pick?"
Oh yeah, that would be my pick. I'm sure.
Really?
Yeah, man.
That's a crazy pick.
The canned sausages. They look like a thumb.
Oh yeah, those are the best.
Wow.
You don't like those?
I mean, that's not my go-to. Like, I wouldn't go to the pantry, pull those out, and be like, "I'm taking these to the golf cart."
That's one crazy. Of those, man. We have nothing else to eat, but we got some sausages.
Exactly.
Man, look at what.
Or like the family that you really don't like comes over, you just put those out.
Yeah,
that way they take them with them.
Make a charcuterie board with Vienna sausage.
I want y'all to look at the chat right now. Tyler Justice, all in on Viennas.
That tells me all I need to know.
Hogbone like some potted meat and sardines.
Potted meat.
Potted meat's not my favorite. It's the same thing, I realize, but it's different.
Sardines is something I can't grasp that. I can't not grasp people eating sardines and enjoying them.
I'm not too much on that either.
Oh, but mercy. I mean, I
like
can do
like sunflower seeds.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not a big sunflower seeds guy.
Well, when I quit, if I quit dipping or something.
Yeah, right.
Because you got to have somewhere to spit them, right?
Yes.
But I mean, yeah, I do enjoy them, but I don't eat them like everybody else does. I put a wad of them in there and just jump them up and just suck that juice out, right, and then just spit them all out. Give me them dill pickles, big dog.
Oh yeah, I like the ranch ones if I want to eat them.
Oh, they're good. Fantastic. There you go. One or the two. I'm fine with that. Oh man, Darren.
Tell you what, I want to make a point to what Darren was talking about.
Okay.
And it pertains to star ratings, and there's much to be debated about star rankings and ratings. I get that. Sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong. Sometimes they're right and they're wrong. And I tell you where they get it right, though. And I mean at a high rate, they get this right with star rankings. Is in the crucial moments of games. The guys who had a high star rating are usually the guys that are making the big plays. Brock Bowers. One could argue that now Carson Beck played a big role in it, but one could argue that Brock Bowers decided to take over that game against Auburn. They covered him pretty well, up until the last play, and it didn't matter. He was making the plays. I hate to bring it up, Isaiah Bond. It is what it is, guys. The higher caliber players are the ones making the plays in those moments.
Hey, that's fantastic, because that was one thing I wanted to say too about Darren's point, in that it was kind of, we were talking about between a 5 and an 8 class, but you think about from a top 2 to 3 class, between the difference between a top 2 to 3. If you're finishing top 3 every year, like Georgia, Alabama, Ohio State, all those guys are every year, and even if you're finishing 8, top 10, you're still 2 5-stars short of those top 3 classes. And after 3 to 4 years, that other sideline has 6 to 8 more dudes than you do.
And that doesn't mean you automatically put an L on the schedule when you play that team. It just means they've got an advantage over you. That's
Absolutely.
all it means.
Absolutely. But there's a big difference between a top 2 to 3 class and an 8 to 10 class, and those are probably 2 5-stars and a 4-star. I mean, the difference between a 5 and an 8, maybe 1 5-star, maybe a 2 4-stars. It's not that big of a difference, but you think there aren't very many 5-stars, and those top 3 classes have the majority of them. And if you do that for 3 to 4 years, you're behind.
Yep, that's right.
I thought that was good stuff, Darren.
It was.
All right, well, let's wrap it up here. Start getting ready for Big Cat this week. Auburn's, as I said, the dead period ends on Wednesday, and probably see some, maybe a guy or two trickle in, but I believe most of them will be in either late Friday night, early Saturday morning. We will be covering it all at Auburn Live on 3. Cole and I will be there on Saturday to give you some play-by-play, who's coming in, who's expecting, who didn't show. We'll be doing all that, and, of course, all the previewing we'll be doing throughout the week leading up to Big Cat. Again, if you haven't already, get logged in to Auburn Live on 3. Use that promo code AU1, capital A, capital U1. Get you 2 months for $1. Also, if you haven't already, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're less than 300 away from hitting that 10K mark. Would do, I don't know how it benefits us, but it does. So that's what they tell me. So, hey, help us out. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we'll see if we can't get to 10K. Anything else? Jessica Andrews with the Talents Group, folks. I'm telling you, if you need to sell that house, you need to find a new one in Auburn, Opelika, Lee County, give her a call. You will not be disappointed. 334-704-4442. Tell her we sent you. It might help me out. All right, that's going to do it, folks. We will be back, as I said earlier, we will be back Friday morning with a Big Cat preview. Look for that on our YouTube channel. Turn on those notifications. You'll know exactly when we get it uploaded, and we'll do our best to get it out in a timely manner. All right, well, we appreciate everybody listening. We appreciate everybody watching. For Cole Pinkston, for Zach in the back who came to the front, for Alan Head who is out there on the front lines for us all. We appreciate you, man. Stay out of the left lane. See ya.